Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. We get a list of non-sport national championships.
And we talk football, and Noah picks a team.
And I throw my paper at Brandon because he's a horrific take.
And I can't
really
cuss.
Bad take.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Why are you sitting so tall?
Oh, and then
Because
Noah
if I
has his thing.
slouch, I look just not great.
All right, well, you're just making...
I just hate this chair. This chair's just the worst.
It's a bad chair.
Well, yeah, it's
So
not like
understand if
we paid somebody
the
to
two
design.
middle chairs match, why don't the two outer chairs match? That doesn't make sense.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
If the two middle chairs... Also, why did they put a camera on the wall and put a table there to where if you're doing
I
a
know.
4 wide, now you see the table?
I know.
We're a $1 trillion company. $1 trillion.
Wow. What did that happen this
$1
morning?
$1 trillion company, and we're looking at a cup holder.
You know why we're a $1 trillion company now?
Why?
Brick watches starting to sell like crazy.
Yeah, I heard that specifically in
the South.
The South.
They're going mega viral.
Literally viral.
Literally viral, which I don't know. Yeah. If they're literally viral, are they making people sick?
Well, that's what literally
Well,
would mean.
yeah,
Yes.
it came from China actually.
Okay. Well,
Oh boy,
maybe in a lab, maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
a bat maybe.
Noah, you going to tell us your team today?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
He has hats.
He
Do
has
you have
hats.
your camera turned on?
Yep, I do.
Great. That's
Noah's
great.
the greatest. What is this shirt you have on?
This is from the Hollywood movie, The Big Lebowski. It's the bowling alley.
Oh, it's the bowling alley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that movie one time. I need to.
But isn't this shirt well lit? Look at look at it on the that looks like a sunset, doesn't it?
And that's a
does-
summer shirt.
it looks
summer
like the
shirt.
saturation
So
is popping.
this is all from this one company. I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
How many shirts did you get from them?
I bought about 80 now.
Yeah.
80?
Yeah. No, there's.
I got a bunch.
Oh, we use like a new one every Friday. It's Big
Yeah.
Central Fun Shirt Friday.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
got.
have your own closet for it? Or does your
I
wife
do.
have to share?
So here's the thing. We're moving soon.
Yes.
My clothing situation is kind of embarrassing.
Do you have more than her?
I have more than the rest of the house combined. I have
And you have
four
17
I have
children.
4 closets and a full room of my clothes. I have a room.
What?
I have a room in my house that houses my clothes, and that is the only thing that room does.
Thank God you never lived in Manhattan. What
But
would you have done?
I'm having to get rid of. I think I'm gonna get rid of the. Remember when I started? I was all t-shirts.
yeah.
I think I'm getting rid of the t-shirt collection.
We.
What do you mean?
should sell
I got
them.
rid of it. Where are you going to put it?
I think I'm gonna get rid of the t-shirt
Well,
collection. I think I'm gonna either give it away or
Why?
sell it on eBay.
In 2 years, you're going to be like,
You're gonna want them back.
yeah.
You should
Then I'll
either
just buy them again.
you should either donate them.
I
or
forgot.
Like,
You're
raffle
mega.
them.
You're
what?
literally rich.
I'm literally rich.
Yeah.
You should definitely do something with them for sure.
I got to get rid of my starting lineup collection. I have a ping pong table I got to get rid of. I have a heavy bag. You want a heavy bag?
I want a heavy bag.
I don't because there's just.
How am I going to get a
there's
heavy
no-
bag into the city?
Well, he lives in the city too.
Yeah, how am I going to get a heavy bag into a woman's apartment?
I would say just bring it here. I don't want a
Oh,
heavy bag
it'd
in my
be
apartment.
great
It doesn't
here.
fit the aesthetic.
Where am I going to put it here?
There's a lot of space. I
I
would
would
love a
love
heavy
I'm
to
not
bag
going to
here.
bring a heavy bag here. I'll steal stuff from here. Why would I? I'm not
You know,
anti-steal.
yesterday
reverse steal?
was the biggest steal in the history of the company.
When Rico stole that cooler?
Yep. Rico took a cooler that he said was the greatest. I think that's the happiest I've ever seen him.
He took like a stand-up round cooler that was wrapped in body armor. And it's one of those coolers that you would just...
If you're at
It's a
an
barrel.
event,
It's a barrel.
Like, you know, if you're at an event and there's Red Bull girls,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of Red Bulls next to them. It's like literal. It's a barrel, and
Yeah.
then inside of it's coated with like what is a fridge technology, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you put ice in it, it stays really cold.
He stole that
He took it, yes.
because he won the dozen.
I don't know. I think he's just...
No, he has because I hang out in there a lot. He's walked in there multiple times and been like, "Whose is that?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." And he's like, "Can I take it?" And I'm like, "I'm sure you can. No one's touched it in 3 years." And he's like, "All right, you're sure about that?" And I was like, "Well, Rico, I'm not gonna sign off on it."
This.
Yeah. I don't mind stealing stuff from work. I
Well,
got a
I
lot of
it's
stuff from
No,
work.
this
fine
is-
to take.
no.
Yeah, I've got pillows. I've
This
got
is-
blankets. I've got...
This is the time.
Mantis
to start,
is at my house.
Yeah.
This is the time to start stealing things because we're redoing the whole office. And if you don't get your shit out, it's just getting thrown away. Jack's backpack got thrown away with his passport in
found it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh,
Mom, I found it.
okay.
Guess what was thrown away?
What?
Oh no.
Texas A&M jersey.
I saw that. I saw it
It was
yesterday.
a jacket too.
A jacket and a Texas
threw
A&M
it
jersey.
away.
Guys.
You threw.
I don't know if you want this.
It was a
card,
good
but-
jersey too.
Guys, I didn't throw it away. I put it in the donation bin.
Oh, okay, that's true. There will be
Wait, actually-
a homeless person
actually,
in New
hold
York
on, hold on,
City
hold on.
wearing a Texas A&M.
You threw it in the donation bin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go see if it's still there. If anybody took it.
There's multiple in
It's
there.
on the bottom.
Do you know what was also thrown out?
It was the 100-year anniversary one too.
It was?
Yes.
I didn't
I'll
look at
take
it.
that then. You know what's also thrown out? This might be more for Brandon. I did text Zaw to make sure it was on purpose, but the Lisa Ann plaques.
I threw.
Oh, that
no,
was-
wait. I threw that out in the trash.
Yeah, I know.
Who has it? You have it now?
No, I put it on Glenny's desk.
Why do we
But
have
Za
Lisa
has
Ann's?
Za has
Zaw.
like the 500K
That's right,
one
that's
and
right.
like
Yeah,
a
he's at
million.
250. Give
I
her
can just
1
give
point-
it to Lisa.
I think she would turn her nose up at the 100K
No, she
one.
gave.
Yeah.
She gave it to Za.
Uh-oh.
Because at one point I was walking around the office, like, these are so cool, just like, this is
Katie.
relic, it's Barstool.
The bins are
sorry.
empty.
Door.
Door because
no, are they?
Yeah, that's my fault. The bins are empty.
no,
So,
it's, but they
They're
get
going to-
collected every morning.
so a homeless person is wearing an A&M jersey.
So
now.
yep, the 100-year anniversary, 19.
So part of your whole thing with you having all those closets is like, if I have gear that's either from a school or Barstool, like it's all been sent here. I refuse to have things sent to my apartment because I don't want more shit at my apartment. I want my actual clothing there. So whenever they said you need to clean off your desks, I said, okay, well, I'm just going to donate anything that I'm not going to take home with me. I have a ton of A&M stuff, but like, what do I need an A&M jersey for?
I don't know. I didn't throw away a Mississippi State jersey.
I didn't throw away A&M
you
gear
have
that I'm
one in the
actually going to
office?
wear.
Huh?
Do you have it in a Mississippi State jersey in the
No,
office?
I have
to
it.
throw away?
I have two jerseys here. I have a Marcus Dupree Oklahoma jersey that's signed by Marcus Dupree, and I have an Iowa State jersey.
Well, if it was signed by somebody, I would have kept it. I think I got sent it for like the Orange Bowl. Sorry, Katie.
No, the patch on it was the Texas Bowl.
Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah.
come on. I did keep the helmet. If you notice by the rundown set, they had, there's the little like shelving thing.
Yeah.
There's way more A&M stuff there than there should be. It's because the stuff that I want to keep, I just start putting there. So I think there's an A&M football.
Yeah.
I think there's like a crock pot that I don't have any use for, but it was too nice to throw away. But now is the time to steal stuff from here because everybody's getting all their shit thrown away.
Are y'all ready to go?
We're not doing Hate Week. Do you?
I'll tell them about Hate Week when we get into the show.
Okay.
All right. Hello and welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast. Casey Smith, Katie Stats, Jack Mack. I'm Brandon Walker, and it's brought to you by, let's be over here.
And Noah has a big announcement today.
He does.
He's going to announce his team, and afterwards we're going to celebrate with an ice-cold high noon.
It was my boyfriend's birthday on Saturday. We were out at like a terrace public space in our apartment building. A bunch of us came there. It was loud. There was one girl who was lying out tanning, and I was like, you know what? We're being just too loud, playing music. Brought her over high noon. Is like, hey, just as like heads up, I'm sorry in advance. Here's like a little peace treaty. High noon. She looked at it, cracked it right open.
What a nice thing to do.
That was really nice.
What flavor was it?
Peach.
Of course it was. I was very excited today. Katie got to witness it. I got to do my first high noon Instagram story back post pregnancy, which was a big
Ooh.
deal.
And did it in one take.
I did do it. Well, I put Zach through living hell, but I couldn't do it when I was pregnant because you can't drink high noon when you're
Of
pregnant.
course.
But now I'm back, and I was talking about the pool pack. We're going to be shooting the new high noon commercial next week in a great location. I'm not going to spoil it, but there are some heavy hitters, and it is in a very fun location. I'm very excited about it.
I knew that it was coming up because in the hallway there's all the fruit costumes.
Yes,
I saw that too.
Yes, and to the point where Joey Kamasa was asking why there was, and I was explaining what's happening, and he was offended that he's not invited to it. So he actually said that he might sneak into it in one of the fruit costumes because he's like, well, the fruit for Pride Month seems
That would
apt.
be pretty funny.
Yes, but high noon, the tequilas, the vodkas, you guys know the drill. You can find it anywhere.
Big cans.
Big cans, peach and pineapple. So we're back. High noon is back. I am back on high noon. It's just a lovely summer. It's lovely.
My fridge was full of high noon and then steaks this weekend. I was like, what
What a
more do
combo.
you need?
What a combo,
Yeah,
high noon and
literally
steak.
just all high noon, all grillables, nothing else in sight.
You don't need anything else. Look out for the new
Gorilla
commercial.
bowls?
Like hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken.
Oh, okay, cool.
Grillables.
Oh, Grillables. That's
Yeah.
not. You said Gorilla Bowls. I was
So
like, what's
yeah,
that?
I watched that happen. Anyways, go get your high noon. All right, Brandon, what's the show about today?
Can we just get some ventilation.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. I'm so glad.
I'm like,
moving.
it's gonna zoom in, and then people are gonna be
The-
like,
the
Jack,
fact that-
you're so greasy. Ah!
This entire office is a
so
smooth
cold.
68 degrees. This room is 95, and
Is Pod 2 also
and they
on?
don't. They put a camera in here that shows you a cup holder, and
And
whoever I'm not
And-
whoever got hired to do this is crazy.
and the TV, the coloring is way off. Just I'd like to
Thank
point that
you.
out.
So today we're talking college football. Yes,
Yes.
Yes, it was gonna be hate week.
it was going to be hate week. I'm not feeling it. I got to be honest.
You're so loved, like you're in the loving mood.
That's,
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's go with
sure.
that. I'm full of too much love. to hate.
I saw the look on Brandon's face when he like.
You could tell, right?
Well, I knew there was something up, and I knew that you weren't in a hate mood. I will be honest, I was not in a hate mood today.
It's not the mood. It's I'm too overwhelmed with moving to Chicago.
Fair enough.
I'm closing on my house next week, 7 days from now. I'm moving this and that. I'm doing all this. I got so much going on that I was unable. So my idea is this: we'll do a show this week.
Next
we'll do
week.
a show next week, and then 2 weeks from now will be another show, and after that's 4th of July week.
Which we
so-
never do a real full show.
Going into 4th of July week, we're gonna hammer it out with a big hate spectacular,
A mega hate.
mega hate.
Mega
And
episode.
that we'll get all our hate out going into July 4th, and then coming out of July 4th, we're turning and looking straight towards the season.
You know what would be a good idea before the hate week episode?
What?
If you bring that heavy bag to the office so Jack and I can punch it.
I could do that.
There's a heavy bag in my gym. I punch.
I punch a lot of heavy bags.
I like
One in
punching
the
a
corner
heavy
in the
bag.
office.
We need a heavy bag at this
We don't
office.
have a heavy
Think
bag.
There's a black. There's numbers on it. It's in the corner by my desk. I know it's probably not like the heavy bag, but it's still.
No, that's a
upright
light
punching.
boxer.
Yeah.
Which is
The
a
heavy
good,
bag is
it's a
like
good
the-
machine. It's a good machine.
You can't-
'Cause I have one of those too. But we also have the stand-up man that you can hit. But
Yeah.
he takes punches too. He falls down too easy.
Yeah.
We didn't put enough water in him.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough water. He can't hold his water.
To be honest, if there
Water
was an
weight.
office on the planet that needed a heavy bag, it'd probably be here. Think about how
Also,
many high
We
noon
have a
cans
lot of
wouldn't
heavy
be-
things.
Well, high
We need
noon
one
cans
that
wouldn't
we
be
can like
found.
throw around too.
What, a heavy bag to throw around?
Yeah, like they have them in like wrestling gyms and whatnot.
Yeah.
To help you with like takedowns and whatnot.
Sure. So we're going to get into, I have 10 open-ended questions I'm going to give to you guys today.
And they're college football related.
Yes.
You just drew a house.
Well, when I get
Yeah.
bored, I draw a house.
I know you couldn't talk for a minute, so you drew a house.
Correct. I draw a house.
Um,
I can't draw a big house. It's
the
always
yak house.
Yep.
a two-bedroom starter house.
I also have a 2-minute drill.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, Brandon,
Yes.
Noah's picking his team today.
Is he? Today we find out it's either the Penn State Nittany Lions or the Michigan Wolverines, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you say picking your team, how diehard are you going to be a fan of these teams?
I'm going to be pretty passionate about it. I'd
Pretty
say.
passionate.
Yeah.
So starting at the end of this hour, you're a passionate fan of one of these teams.
Yeah, I will.
How do you want to do it?
Well, I brought 2 hats.
2 hats.
I love it.
He has a Michigan and a Penn State hat. You haven't turned your camera on yet, right? Or we just can't see it.
Oh no, I can. The camera's
Okay.
on me right now.
You just don't pretend you know anything.
Well, no, we just can't see it, so I didn't know if the people could see it. So the people can see it.
People are seeing Noah right now.
Okay, all right.
Assuming I set the camera up right, which I'm pretty sure I
You
did.
did.
Okay.
You did.
All right. Well, if you didn't,
the
as a
best
I
producer,
did, then that's
all right.
that's.
All right. So
Well, all producers do is press record.
in your right hand, that's all Jack did. In your right hand, Penn State. In your left hand, Michigan. Now, what all went into this decision, Noah?
Well, I will say, like I said, I just something about the Big Ten appealed to me, and I think just the fan bases of these 2 teams, they just I don't know, just from observing, silently
Sure.
throughout all of last season, these 2 fan bases are pretty passionate about their teams, and I was very I saw all the responses from the promo clip we put out recently about me having to pick between these 2 teams, and the responses were very, very split. It wasn't dominant one team or the other.
Can you do me a favor? Turn the hats around. Let me look at the hats. I'd like to look at the hats. All right. Sometimes you can get a clue
Yes.
based on the hat.
He doesn't know about the gas station hat theory.
Right. So there's that, and there's
Wait, can
also
you explain that?
the bent bill theory,
Yeah.
meaning they've tried it on
They've
already.
tried it.
Yeah, explain it for people that might not know.
So if you can look at the hats lined out from a recruit, if there's a photo from a journalist covering a high school football, be like, oh, I'm here for Noah's decision.
Yeah.
Because, he's picking between 10 schools and there's 10 hats laid out. You can tell which one is like, oh, that's a top tier hat. And then it's like, oh, here's a bunch of the ones that you bought at, quote unquote, a gas station, like lower tier ones.
So if it's
Just
like
because you did it for theatrics.
If it's a trucker hat, is like the style of hat that it is?
No, it's
It's like a
you'll see.
cruddy hat.
It's
Okay,
it's
see
the
that Michigan
quality.
hat? That's
It's the
a
quality.
That's a quality Michigan hat that is their logo and their logo only. It's the gold M on the blue background. But if that was like a white and blue hat with a Zubaz pattern on it or something, or something different, something
Like,
a third party would have done.
Like that you're gonna see like sold on the street downstairs.
yes. Or like you just
Correct.
ask around, like, hey,
But
who has a Michigan hat?
Jim Harbaugh would wear that hat,
Yes.
but he wouldn't wear every Michigan hat.
Gotcha.
So if you see a hat Jim Harbaugh wouldn't wear, recruit's probably not going there.
And also, if you're a fan of that school, you can tell immediately. Like if I looked at an A&M hat that was clearly not an official A&M hat, you can tell almost immediately,
Well-
which means that the school did not give it to that recruit.
The bent bill theory is correct as well. Like
Yeah.
if you get there and there's 3 hats on the table and 2 of them are straight billed and one of them already has a bend to it, that means he has already tried that
Because
hat
of course,
on.
when you put a hat on,
Yes, you naturally just do this. So you understand. But both of these appear to be bent.
Here's my question, Noah. Where did you get these 2 hats?
I purchased this from Amazon.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, so he
Both from
went to
Amazon.
Brazil to buy these, so that's interesting.
No
Just
free ads.
Before we give him the microphone, wouldn't it be weird to just one day you can just change your? It's great because he didn't have one before, but you should be like, you know what? At the age of whatever, you just get to pick your college team. Kind of be nice.
It would be, but even if you went through it, do you think you could stick to it?
If you didn't have a fan base before, that's the difference.
But
He's never been a college football fan
If you don't have a fan
before.
base before, how do you? I don't know how you create passion.
He's on this podcast. That's how.
Yeah, no, but I don't know how you create passion. Like it's just in me. I can't fake it. I can't create it.
But there's the opportunity for him now that he's done this podcast with us that he's
Sure.
like, oh, I want to be a part of that passion. I've never gotten that opportunity. Now he can.
Now, what people don't know right now, if you're listening to the podcast, Katie hates Noah, and she can't stand Noah, and so during this process, she is leaving the room. She's like an LSU, a Louisiana mom whose son chose Alabama.
Jacob Copeland's mom.
Right. Yeah, Florida. Yeah.
He chose.
Wasn't it Landon Collins too? Didn't Landon Collins' mom do
Yes.
it?
And no, didn't Landon Collins' mom like not fax in or
No, I think Landon Collins' mom was like just got up and left. She was like, "Fuck
Jacob
this."
Copeland's mom was wearing a Tennessee hat and an Alabama shirt, and he picked Florida, and she stormed out.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, everything was fine after it." Well, I mean,
Yeah, Katie has decided to not be a part
Where's
of this
he
process.
now? By the way, he transferred somewhere. Did he transfer to Penn State to Maryland? He transferred somewhere.
no, Jacob Copeland. No, you're thinking of Justin Shorter.
No, I'm thinking that I'm almost certain Jacob Copeland.
I think Jacob Copeland finished out at Florida.
You sure?
I'm looking it up.
Look it up.
What would you do?
You
if-
put a quarter on it?
Well, that's illegal.
What would you do if, like, let's say Tommy Walker
Sure.
decided he was going to play football at, like, I don't know.
Oh, W.
Alabama.
Hey,
Where'd he transfer to?
Maryland. Nobody better.
Nobody better, baby.
What would you do if your son decided over Mississippi State he would play football at Alabama?
I think I'd wish him well and never talk to him again. Never talk to him again.
Okay, what about Ole
That-
Miss?
No, well, he wouldn't play at Ole Miss, and he wouldn't play at Alabama. He's not that good. But you ever see the story about the Carlson brothers? They kicked at Auburn forever. It
Yes.
was Adam Carlson, and I can't remember what his brother's name was. But it was 2 Carlsons in a row, and their grandfather was such a gigantic Alabama fan, they would not go to Auburn to watch him play.
Well, and then also,
That's
Like, that was just an actual
that was an
story.
actual. I'm almost. Maybe I got the family wrong, but I think the Carlsons' grandfather was so tied into Alabama and so high up that he would not go to watch them play.
Lad McConkey's grandfather was
Yeah.
like the biggest Tennessee fan in the history of Tennessee.
Really?
And I think he passed away before Lad went to Georgia.
Yeah.
But I believe his grandfather was not happy that Ladd went to Georgia.
Incredible.
What a name, by the way. We just glossed over that for a while. Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, well,
and he was getting thrown balls by Stetson Bennett IV.
He's also really fucking good.
Yes, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's back this year.
So Noah
All right.
gets to choose, which I'm a little bit jealous of because
Now, Noah, as a recruit, when you're asked why you chose this school, you have to say bullshit things like, "Oh, when I got there, such a family atmosphere. I just felt like I was at home."
Did you remember Manti Te'o's one in the documentary?
What did he say?
He said it was his whole life dream was to go to USC,
Yeah.
and then because Troy Polamalu, all the other guys, and then he was just like, the day before he went to or decided to go to Notre Dame, he was between Notre Dame and USC. He was going to USC, and then he talked to like a priest, and he was like, "That's the sign from God. I'm going to Notre Dame." And this all could have been avoided.
There's nothing but priests at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I know. and then he said,
But honestly, who's going to disagree with that? Nobody's going to be like, well, that priest was full of shit.
Well, as we know, Manti Te'o, normal
his
guy.
fault.
All right.
fault.
Well, he
Did
played.
you ever watch that documentary?
He don't let him off the hook. He played along with that shit. He played along with that shit. He took all the glory from it.
that was, yes, he's doing well right now because of it.
Also, great glow up by Manti. He's hot.
Oh, he is. And he really was not. He looked like a teenager throughout his time.
Noah's just been holding up the hats the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, Noah. No,
Noah's
don't
just
let
been
us
holding
get
up the
talking.
hats the whole time.
Okay.
But Manti Te'o is a good-looking guy.
Yeah, okay,
all right.
so Noah,
Here we go. Moment of truth.
the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, last couple of things I will say. Just want to thank all the people who, were giving me their pitches.
Good. Recruited you good.
Yeah, and I recognize the fact that these two schools are in the same conference, so it's a little awkward. But I just want to say I respect both teams. Obviously
Thank both
Yeah,
coaching staffs.
Yeah, I think both programs. I'm not the kind of fan also to I personally am not big into hating on other teams.
Well, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You'll learn, Noah. You'll learn.
You'll learn. You're with us.
He's a Yankees fan.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
Can I ask one more question to you guys? What school, if you were to guess, do you think I
Penn State.
wanted to pick?
Michigan.
He's going to pick Penn State. He put the hat on first.
To me, the hat tells me he's picking Michigan.
And
I'd rather him pick Penn State.
Are you a righty or a lefty?
I'm right-handed.
Yeah, he picked up the Penn State with the right hand.
But the
Can
Penn
I
State
point
hat
out?
was on top.
Can I point out one thing he's doing that a recruit would never do? He's already wearing a hat.
No,
Yeah, I got to find a new one.
Well, I want to see if he does what all recruits
okay.
have done.
All
I want
right.
to see if he does it.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Noah, last name. Where?
On.
Huh?
It's on.
Noah on. Where are you taking your talents? The hat is off. The hat is off. He's going with. He's
We can't see.
jostling. No, I can't see anything.
I know.
He's putting on. The Michigan hat is on his head. It is on his
blue.
head.
Wow. So
He
I
did it!
I thought he was going to
No,
throw
he
one
hasn't.
off.
How long does it have to stay on before we know it's good?
This is your.
He's too respectful.
This is your choice. The Michigan
my choice, and I'm happy
Wolverines.
with it.
Okay,
Yay,
congrats.
Noah!
Throw the Penn State hat. Throw it.
No,
I don't wanna do that.
He's too
I thought he was going to
respectful.
put on the Michigan hat, throw it to the
Well,
side.
Brandon wants him to be dramatic, like he would be, or I would be, or you would be, Jack. But
Let me just see. Can I see the
Yes,
Penn
of
State hat?
course.
Yeah, let me see the Penn State hat.
you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, let me see the Penn State hat.
Oh.
See, that's how you throw it. So you're a Michigan Wolverine. That's a bitch move.
No, it's not.
Why?
Don't talk down to him.
Why?
I don't know. I like what I saw.
He kind of looks good in it.
It is a nice
I thought he
color.
looked better in the Penn State hat.
No.
He put on the Penn State hat, and I was like, damn, that's a good looking hat.
I will say I think that the Michigan hat just looks like a natural fit for him.
Did you do it because the boss of the company is a Michigan guy?
No. I'm serious.
Yankee, Michigan, and it works perfectly. Derek
Yankees
Jeter.
in Michigan.
Derek
Wow,
Jeter.
that's something.
Is that anything there?
No.
Did you even know Derek Jeter went to Michigan or not?
Oh, I
He did.
Yeah, I know
didn't
that he did. I just did not make that
He
connection.
didn't go to
Okay.
Michigan.
Oh wait, he didn't go to.
Oh, he got drafted in high school, but
Yeah.
he grew up a Michigan fan. Sorry.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like it, Noah. That means we need to get him to a game at the big house.
Kalamazoo, right? Is that where he's from?
Is that where Jeter's from?
Yeah, Kalamazoo.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Who knows?
I think this is great.
All right. So we now on this podcast we have a North Carolina fan, a Texas A&M fan, a Mississippi State fan, a UConn fan, and a Michigan fan. Think you're better than us?
No.
He's a Michigan man. Take out your.
I'm
New York
not going to
Times.
be any different because of this. I just,
Well, what's the point?
You know what's going to happen?
What?
Around, I don't know, November, December, when all of our teams are quite
He's gonna be
eliminated
in the playoff,
from the playoff conversation. He will still be in that conversation, and he'll be
He'll
insufferable.
be the only one talking on the whole podcast.
Wouldn't it be nice to be in contention for the college football playoff?
I've been there.
So have I, but not really. Neither of us really have.
I got to the last weekend of the season in contention.
Yeah, no, I got to the day of the selection.
Oh yeah,
show
you finished 5th. I forgot about that.
and in the fake season.
Well, that season just kind of happened.
Yeah, no, I found out while we were recording the Pro Football show, because we were recording it on a Sunday. I will say, though, it doesn't really feel like if you don't get there, you don't get there. Noah now has been there. He's now a Michigan fan. He's been there 2 times in a row.
Well, he hasn't been there. He wasn't a Michigan fan yet.
But you can claim it now. He's a Michigan fan.
think you can.
I mean, A&M
you're
won
talking about how both of you got close to the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, A&M in 2020.
Now let me ask you something.
Yep.
Mississippi
Baseball's
State
a big
2014.
topic right now,
Sure.
and I would say college football and college baseball fans huge crossover.
Right.
Do you take any stock in the fact that TCU is the only team to ever go to the playoff, March Madness, and Omaha in the same year?
It's impressive. I think it's an impressive across the board accomplishment. They went to.
They won nothing.
Not only went to the playoff. I mean, they played for a national title in football. They were good in basketball, and now they're playing in the College World Series. Now, in reality, making the College World Series to me isn't that big of an accomplishment because in baseball, like 8 teams make the College World Series. How many teams really take baseball seriously? Like 20?
I know.
25? So.
And they're usually there.
They're-
Or
like
a few of them are.
Like Stanford's made it 3 years in a row.
Like even Oral Roberts, but they take it really seriously. Dallas Baptist really takes it seriously.
But I mean, you guys won it.
It's still a great accomplishment.
You guys won it, and then the year after, I went because A&M was in it. It is very fun as a fan, even if you don't.
yeah.
It's a
care.
terrific, it's a terrific event.
I'm not
Yeah.
shitting on college baseball at all.
No, well, I mean, I can say, like, as somebody who doesn't even care about college baseball until the postseason, it's like if your team is there, it's fun. For TCU to be able to accomplish that, it's not something that I think that they should be like hanging banners for. However, if you are a student and you can say that in 1 year you've gotten all 3 of those things, that's awesome. Because I know when I was in school, it was like if the football team sucked, it was like, well, at least basketball's good this year. At least baseball's good this year.
I still think-
Shit, 1 year the women's basketball team won the national championship, and that's what we could hang our hat
Yes.
on. If you can do that in all 3 major sports as a student, that's awesome.
I still think the most amazing thing we'll ever see is Florida beating Ohio State for the football national title and the basketball national title
In the same
in a
year.
2-month span. Yeah, that was crazy.
And-
2007 or 2006 season, they beat Ohio State for football, and then 2 months later beat them for basketball.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Am I right? They beat UCLA the first year, and they beat Ohio State the second year. Yes, I'm right.
But you won a national title in baseball just like, what, 2 years ago?
I
You don't
did. I
care,
won- I
but
went-
you don't even care anymore.
I didn't care then.
I know.
I cared because it was Mississippi State, and if they were in it, I would care deeply,
Right.
and I would want them to win. By the way, we got to pull this up. Bring out your Twitter. My phone's on the thing. Who tweeted this? Like Misfits Incorporated or something, or Misfit? They tweeted out non-sports national champions in
Oh, that
college.
thing's
Did you see it?
unbelievable.
Oh, Jack, do you know where it is? Because I don't.
No, but I'm gonna try to find it. Like it was like Ohio State won in Excel.
Mississippi State won in irrigation avoidance.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Somebody won. Coastal Carolina won in bass fishing. So one of these,
I'm gonna go
disc
I'm gonna
golf,
find
shit
it.
like that.
Oh,
But apparently there's like 50 of them.
We won in meat judging or something.
You won in meat judging. You didn't win this year in meat judging. I think somebody else won in meat
Oh, that's
judging.
bullshit.
What's it called? Miserable committee. The committee.
Sickos Committee.
Sickos.
Sickos Committee.
What does irrigation avoidance mean?
Maybe I'm gonna have to read it.
Because wouldn't you not want to avoid irrigation?
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
It sounds like
let
something
me
you don't
see
want to
this.
avoid.
They have 3 parts.
There's 4 parts.
4 parts.
The 4th part came out today.
Beer brewing.
I got it.
Now, that's
Are
a
you
good
gonna
one to
let me
win.
read these things or not?
That's a good one to win.
iRacing. That's
Alright.
week 4.
All right, so week So this is part 4. 2022-23 non-NCAA national champions. Okay. All right. So South Dakota State won for a quarter scale tractor. Coastal Carolina won for bass fishing.
Okay, I get that.
Is that Georgetown won for bioethics?
Yes.
That makes sense.
This is a good one. Army won for combat weaponry.
Well, that makes me feel good. The Army should be good at that.
I don't know what CP is, but they won for concrete canoe.
Cal Poly.
Okay. Skidmore won for
what did they win?
concrete canoe. I don't know what that is. Skidmore won for equestrian hunter seat.
That school is Lib City.
Middle Tennessee won for equestrian western. Utah Valley, you know what they won for?
What?
Financial planning.
Pretty good.
Someone with a Bobcat for a logo won iRacing.
iRacing?
Yeah.
That-
Like,
It's a NASCAR simulation.
okay.
Remember Spider used
Thing
to do
Spider
it?
used to do.
Oh, yeah. Who was it that he would
Oh, I'm-
beef
AJ
with?
McCarron.
Yep,
I'm sorry, Mississippi State won for irrigation troubleshooting.
that makes more sense.
So suck on that.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That makes
BYU won for jazz dance
Okay.
D1A. And is that
Sam Houston.
Sam Houston
Who is now a FBS.
won jazz dance D1. North Carolina
Good for
won
them.
for journalism.
How do you win a national championship for journalism?
They probably had a bunch of people judge it, and they just had a great.
Something called UST won League of Legends.
Is that University of St. Thomas?
West Virginia.
Is League of Legends like Dungeons and Dragons?
No, it's online. It's a huge game. It's like one of the biggest video games
West
ever
Virginia
right
won
now.
for Mars Rover.
League of Legends is massive, right?
In what, like globally?
Yeah.
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 American University won for Model UN.
Okay, yeah.
I did that in high school.
Me too. We went to Yale.
We went to Mississippi State, did Model Security Council. I was Costa Rica one year.
Man.
What?
Somebody won for Rocket League.
Okay, yep. That's another video game.
UAH Chargers, I think that's Alabama Huntsville. Rocketry launch. Wow, that
They-
makes sense. They have rockets there.
And that's like Huntsville is where it's the leading town. Alabama loves that town because it increases their average income, average
Yeah.
IQ by 100x, which really doesn't show the full.
Ohio State won D2 roller hockey.
Okay.
Is this blowing your skirt up yet? Cal won rowing. I feel like rowing would just be a thing.
Yeah, they
Well,
should,
because Katie got a scholarship for
no
rowing.
rowing should just be.
It
Its
says
own
rowing
thing.
M. So is that men's rowing? Is
Yeah,
not
men's rowing.
Men's rowing is probably not a.
No, men's rowing is a big deal. Oh, it's a men's rowing's non-NCAA.
Yeah.
That's why. Women's rowing is NCAA.
The Bobcats athletics. I don't know what college they won for snowshoe.
Fuck yeah.
That may just be
Snowshoes.
like University of Alaska.
Yeah. Sam Houston, big time. They won jazz dance and they won solo instrumental music.
Sam Houston is actually a very good music school.
Do you know who this A is? Because they won.
Akron.
Akron won spike ball.
I don't even think I know what Spike
Remember
is.
Evo?
It's a-
Evo played your boy.
If you ever go,
I'm thinking of
if
handball.
you ever go to Dick's or Academy,
Yeah.
it's in the aisle where they have all the games. It's like a beach game where it's a net and you spike the
Dave
ball.
used to do it. He
yeah,
was the king of the beach. King of the beach.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Spike ball.
Purdue Northwest won surveying.
Like land?
I believe so.
No, it would probably just be like best surveying.
No, surveying is land surveying. I would assume.
All right, that probably makes
Well,
sense.
they look through those funny cameras. I don't know what they'd be looking at.
Oh yeah, and it's like a big box.
Yeah.
I don't know what they look at either. They'll just do it randomly.
Washington State won wine marketing.
Now that's a skill set.
Her skirt just got
Yeah,
blown
that
up.
thing you were asking, that's my Marilyn Monroe moment right
That's
there.
part 4. Hold on. I think they did the other 3 parts. I'll just go through them very quickly. Acapella, Belmont. Oh, Ohio State won Bollywood fusion dancing.
That's cool.
Very specific.
Must have a
WU won chess.
Washington University. I bet.
Utah won climbing. Pitt won cricket. Penn won curling.
I see.
Virginia Tech won dairy cattle judging.
That would make sense.
There's 2 logos from A&M. What did we win?
You won meat judging.
Yeah, I knew that. No, stop. What is it? What is it? What is it? Stop.
No,
Stop.
the jokes write
No,
themselves.
please. It has to be made up. It has to
No,
be made
it's
up.
not.
It has
this
to be
is
made
like
up.
we got
No.
hang the banner.
No,
Hang the banner, baby.
Don't do this. What is it?
Hang the banner.
Hey,
Start
Texas A&M won 2 national titles. One for meat
Salt.
meat judging, and one for wool judging. Judging sheep's wool. Way to go!
Y'all beat out.
Way to go!
Y'all beat out Texas
That's
A&M.
not real.
Corpus Christi.
You're making that up.
What does that say?
It says wool judging.
Oh, this is the terrific.
Oh my god.
Oh, North Carolina won indoor women's tennis.
That's legit.
Is that Sacred Heart?
Yep.
SHU?
Yep.
Irish dancing.
Okay.
What does wool judging
Georgia
include?
Tech won mascot
You went
dancing.
to Texas A&M.
I don't even know wool judging was a thing.
Soil judging, that's Maryland. A lot of judging.
You think they all do it at the same place?
Oh, the judging?
No, like, yeah, it's
That's
like...
Supreme Court. I think they do it there.
I have a friend.
No, it all
How
ends-
many of these are there? Purdue won ballroom dancing. College Bowl. What is College Bowl? Is that just trivia? Oh,
Yeah.
Georgia won that, shockingly. Imagine they have a 34-year-old 34-year-old College Bowl guy that never graduates.
Yeah.
Tennessee won cornhole.
That's a cool one to win.
Iowa State and Kansas State split the crop judging championship.
Okay.
A
So
tie.
Stanford
No.
won for cybersecurity.
Well, how do you judge that?
What do you know what that logo is? It's a green bobcat. They won for hip hop dancing.
I think that's
BYU
an
won for
HBCU that
hip-
I should know, but don't. So,
I think that checks out.
yep.
Let's see. Pacific won opera scenery. North Carolina won pickleball.
Okay.
Oh,
Pickleball's good one, though.
Yeah,
Good.
that's a good one.
A&M won women's polo. So that's an actual kind of sport.
Oh, good.
So good for you.
Better than
I know
wool
this is,
judging.
people
No
either
thanks.
hate this one or love it.
Oh no.
A&M has won again.
Yes. Thank you, A&M.
A&M
You're starting to
again.
make shit up.
A&M has won again. Tell me if that's the Texas A&M logo.
Is what did
And
we
do you
win?
know what they won?
No.
I have a great joke coming.
Oh, skeet. They won skeet shooting.
And they got the top recruit coming in next year, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Let's see if their logo's on this one. No, you're safe on this one. Last one. God, I love this so much. This might be awful radio or podcasting.
Awful radio for sure.
I don't know. I think it's pretty funny.
The Florida Gators won baking. Harvard won book collecting.
Wait.
How do you win book collecting?
No, you're going to shit yourself when I say the next category. Look at what Purdue won. Purdue won bracketology.
They lost.
Purdue won bracketology. I don't know what to tell you.
They were the one.
Wait,
No,
no.
but
You
I
know
guess
what?
it was just filling out brackets.
No. You know what I bet it is? I bet they guessed the bracket
Yes.
the way that they made the
Yes,
bracket.
actual
Yeah.
bracketology.
They were the closest to the actual bracket.
Oh,
First of all, can I please say something? Skeet shooting is very hard.
Yeah.
Texas Tech won musical theater. Ball State won the solar decathlon. MIT won weather forecasting.
Makes sense. MIT's pretty good at things like that.
Texas won trombone choir. Trombone's in a choir? How does that work?
Yeah. That must be really hard. Sing and play trombone at the same time.
And, Texas Tech won ranch horse team.
I would like it
That
on
was
record
fun.
that I had the most national championships.
You had 4 national titles.
on that list.
4 national titles.
I don't-
Skeet shooting, wool judging, meat judging.
And women's polo.
Women's polo just doesn't belong there.
No, I had a friend who did meat judging at A&M.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know what it entails.
If somebody came up to me and said, Brandon, hey, listen, Barstool's not working out, but I can get you a career meat judging. I'm fine with that.
I'm about to say, you're telling me you wouldn't
No,
want to judge some meat?
I would judge. I'd rather judge meat than wool. How do you judge wool? Just
I don't-
feel it,
I
hold
don't
it.
know. The wool one is tough, I will
I'm
say.
looking that
but
up.
if you are a meat judger, you get to eat a lot of really good meat.
Problem is you do and you don't. I think you take one bite, try to not stay. I've told you many times about the chili contest I judged
Yes.
once. And I judged it 15 miles from my house, and the ride home was something.
It's so gross.
It was something.
Oh my God, there's a lot out there about wool judging. Every school, it looks like a lot of schools have.
What if judging wool is just being like a
Don't fear the fleece.
like a
wool
junior high
judging
teenage
tips.
girl, like just judging it like all.
Like,
oh, look at
that's
her
not
over there.
cute.
That's not cute.
So
That's
this
not a
is
cute
what
wool
this is what it
jacket.
looks like.
See, that freaks me out.
They're all up in that wool.
It's.
All
Hey,
right.
I'm just saying I got the most on the list.
Think they're fucking at the wool judging tournament?
I would assume so. Wool judgers fuck wool judgers.
Yeah.
You think actually? You think the wool judges are hanging out over there? Like, all right, we got to get done. The meat judges are coming through.
No, see, the wool judgers probably have like their own sexual innuendos revolving wool judging.
Oh, wool.
You know,
Yes.
you know, like they're talking and they're like, whatever they're saying gets hot and heavy to them. It would sound like just nonsense to us,
Yeah.
but it means some shit to them.
Yeah.
I bet you meat judging's got some great sexual innuendos.
Yes, it does. All right.
Before you get on those,
Yeah.
you should talk about something else that we love.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about what else we love.
The microphone just fell down. Okay. What are you looking at?
What's it
Whoa.
talking? Are they in order? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you about the.
Again,
Fuck me.
way more people listen.
I'm
Well,
going to tell you
thank
about the
for
Barstool
YouTube.
Sportsbook.
Brandon's having a meltdown.
I'll tell you about the Barstool Sportsbook app right now, the number one sports betting app in the country. You can go to the Sportsbook app. It has the best exclusives. You've got bets from Stephen Shea, who was an NBA monster this year, bets from guys like Big Ev, Rico. Of course, Dan has his 5 for 5 every weekend. Dave has exclusives. We have exclusives. You can bet with us. You can, we're the guys you love. Bet with us. Enjoy it. The Barstool Sportsbook also now offering a $1,000 bonus for new players. If your first bet loses, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So download and create an account today. Use code RUFF to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Be sure to use code
RUFF
to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Terms apply. You must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right.
Brandon, I have some bad news for you.
Yes.
I'm not gonna read it on the podcast because I don't want to like spoil this, but we were talking about our potential stops for the college football show this year. We are at the time of year where it's actually happening. Shout out to Lauren, our producer from last year, because we're actually talking about it in June as opposed to in August. But I text her about your request. You would have to fight Dave, Dan, and Ev for one weekend. So I think it's a lost cause. Just saying. Just bad news.
Why would I need to fight Ev?
You want to? I don't read this because then it'll ruin.
Show me that.
It's bad news.
She doesn't like me.
Well, not many people do.
That's not true.
I will say though, big stuff for the college football show this year. It's going to be very cool. Don't.
Are you
sell
sure
that
about
way.
this idea?
Well, we shouldn't do this on the podcast.
Okay. I just don't see the vision.
Okay.
But that's
well,
okay.
I see it. I'll
that's
explain it to you.
okay.
I'll-
You'll
I
explain
see
the
it.
vision?
I explained it already
I mean,
earlier today.
smarter people than me came up with the vision, so
Yes.
I will do whatever.
I actually explained it to Rico today, who is like you, did not see the vision. I saw the vision for him.
Tell me the vision.
I'm not going to do
Not
it right
now, but
yeah,
later.
afterwards. Yeah, I will. Okay.
Because of course, nobody asked me. Why would they? So, okay, well, let's talk college football. Not sure why I clapped there.
You're excited.
So last week we found out. I'm going to try to get through this. I'm trying to be holy here. We've got NCAA Football 2025 coming up soon. Should be out next year in 2024. It'll be the first one since NCAA 2014, which came out in 2013. Last week we found out that former Clemson player and a couple other guys are trying to organize a boycott for players to boycott this game and not have their likenesses used because the payout is apparently $500 per player across the board. To which I say, if those players organizing the boycott steal this game out of my hands, I don't know if I'm going to react well. This is crazy, but let me just say it like this. If I were a player, I would know my value. I'd want to know my value. Of course, I would want money. But ultimately, seeing myself in this game that I'm going to love and I'm going to play with my boys I'll take the 500 and that. I think that's valuable. I think players love that. That's an experience. You can't take that away. So would I rather have 500 and that or 2,000 and not be in the game? Like, I don't know, man. I think this is much ado about nothing and just let this thing happen. Jack, am I crazy here?
There's probably 3 to 4 players that will impact the sales.
Caleb
of the
Williams
game,
could make money off of this.
but he'll be gone.
Very true. Very true.
Arch Manning.
Sure. the 3 or 4 biggest stars in the sport could make money off of it
Every year.
Every year.
But outside of that, like if you're banding together, even if you're a high impact player, let's be honest, players weren't in the game before. They were, but they weren't, and people still bought the game. People are going to buy the game.
I
no
don't
matter
need
what.
players in the game. I just need the game.
And
I can make the players.
it's one of those short-sighted things right now because guys are going to think, oh, I'm worth way more than this, so I want to hold my ground and stand my ground and not do it. And then in like a decade, they're going to look back and be like, shit, I really wish I was in that game. The $1,500 extra or whatever is not going to matter.
I just hope they get it all settled, and I hope players get what they want. I hope they're happy. I hope EA gets what they want. Y'all figure it out. I need y'all to figure it out because I need the game. So figure it out.
I just want to learn how to play the game.
We'll teach you how. That's going to be one of our series, teaching Casey how to play the game.
I do think it is cool, though, that players can make money off of it at all, which is like obviously a massive step from where we were.
Will your boy eventually want to play it, or has he aged out of video games already?
No. You haven't aged out, and you're like 40 years older than us.
Well, he's like 40 already. Your boy.
Oh, my son.
Yeah.
Because of how old he is.
I thought you were talking about my boyfriend.
Oh.
Because of how long you took on maternity leave.
Oh, yeah. No, he already kicks your ass in Madden, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He talks shit. He talks mad shit.
Mad shit. He's got the headset and
Yeah.
everything. I've never understood. I'm sure that everybody that's listening to me right now is going to be like, fuck you for not understanding. I do not understand the shit talking to like random people that might be like, you might be talking shit to a 10-year-old.
Well, I would never play. I don't think I would ever play a video game against somebody I didn't know. But me growing up and going to New York and then all my friends being back in Mississippi, I could play them and talk shit to them.
You don't play random people online on these
I
games?
don't play online on these games. I just play. I
thought that was part of like the whole like.
No, most people do. I just don't. I can't play a random guy.
And then you just talk shit to each other. I mean, I understand the fun part, but like sometimes, like in movies, they always show that it's like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And it feels very strange.
All right, y'all ready for my open-ended questions?
Yes.
Not a whole lot going on in the news. I know Big Ten dropped their home and away opponents for next year.
Yep. Which will impact UCLA the most, but we knew this.
Yeah, we knew this. We knew UCLA and USC would have to travel a lot next year.
UCLA playing at Rutgers is very funny.
It's a long way, man. You know,
And Hawaii.
That heated UCLA-Rutgers matchup we're all dying to see.
But we will all be dying to see it when it happens.
Well, I'm sure I will. I'll watch it. I'm going to guess that.
The biggest takeaway from that is, and I know that we have Michigan fans that listen. We have diehard Michigan fans that listen. Noah is now included in this.
Mm-hmm.
That last year, one of your takes that pissed off Michigan fans the most was that they play a cupcake non-conference schedule.
Yep.
The schedules now with UCLA and USC added and the divisions being dropped, like some of these schedules are monsters.
Well, you know, schedules change from year to year. Now, Michigan is, for the second year in a row, playing a tragically dumb, stupid non-conference schedule. Georgia also is playing a ridiculously easy non-conference schedule this year. So, but as we go forward with the conferences ballooning to the size they're ballooning and you're going to be playing more games, I think that'll become a thing of the past.
Do you like that the Big Ten divisions are going away?
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, like divisions are a thing, and then I guess about 25, 30 years ago, conferences started getting bigger and we put divisions in, and then everybody had divisions. And now, who's the first to get rid of it? Pac-12? Or I guess Big 12 got rid of it first because they shrunk down. Now everybody's getting rid of divisions. Like SEC's getting rid of divisions too. So divisions just aren't going to be a thing very soon.
They're not. I love the idea of getting rid of divisions, which I know in 10 years I'm not going to care about it, but especially for the Big Ten because of how lopsided they are. The Big Ten East is so much better right now than the Big Ten West. So if you're in the Big Ten West, you're probably like, well, fuck, now like Wisconsin or whoever can't make it to Indianapolis. But we're finally going to get to see a world where, let's say, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State all stay the way that they are right now. It's not going to be like, well, it comes down to like that last weekend.
I think it would give more credence. The non-division world gives more credence to your idea that conference titles matter because conference titles are going to matter more now when you have to really earn it on the field. Like when you could play an 8-4 Big Ten West team and win your conference title, but an 11-1 team was not allowed to play for it. That conferences aren't equal, right? But now, if one is playing two in every single conference, that's a lot closer to equal across the board.
Which is why TCU Kansas State was such a big deal last year because they had already beaten them once during the season. So if you have to win your conference title by beating a team that's either previously beaten you or you have to beat them twice in the same season. That makes it way more interesting to me. And when you have a conference like the Big Ten, where lately it has been so lopsided, it makes the whole
I think
the
there's
whole
going to
conference.
be less parity because of that.
What do you mean?
So
The same teams every year.
because if you have to beat them twice and then you have to go into a playoff, a 12-team playoff that has, let's say you're a team like TCU, you have to beat Kansas State twice, but then again, if you beat them once, there's 12 teams. TCU lost to Kansas State after beating them once and still made it in the top 4. So maybe I'm wrong, but where I'm going with it is, I think at the end of the day, we're going to have the top 2 teams playing each other, which unfortunately in college football are kind of a mix of 8 teams usually.
Yeah.
8 to 12, like on a given year. They'll differentiate in terms of what school it is that year. Like Tennessee may get there in a few years, but like last year, Alabama could have still made the college football playoff, and as like a 10 seed, and made it to the final.
Well, and so to play devil's advocate on my own argument, conference titles would matter way more if we stayed at a 4-team playoff because of the 1 and 2 team playing each other. With a 12-team playoff, conference titles will actually matter less because in this past year, using the Big 12 as an example, Kansas State would have also made it into a 12-team format.
All right.
But conference versus conference will matter way more.
Before I get to my questions and really open this thing up, we've got Factor.
I got
Delicious.
in trouble. I got in trouble for a Factor today.
How'd you get in trouble
not
for a
because
Factor?
it was so delicious.
Yeah.
But the Factor that I chose to bring to work today was a delicious Baja salmon.
You took it away from somebody that wanted it?
No, I made it in the kitchen, and Nick Taraney told me it's very rude to make salmon in the workplace.
Oh yeah.
But it was delicious, and I said, well, you can't tell me what to eat. And I'm eating my Factor.
Can't tell you what to do.
It's Baja salmon it had some broccoli, some like cauliflower rice, and I put hot sauce all over that bitch.
Now that summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny and active days. Factor's ready-to-eat meal kit can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track reaching your goals. Too busy with summer plans to cook, but make sure you're eating well. Want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, you can skip the trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, the prepping, the cleaning up, and all that madness, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Their fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, and then go back outside and soak up the warm weather. This June, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. They're ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/Walker50 and use code Walker50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code Walker50 at factormeals.com/Walker50 to get 50% off your first box.
I actually look forward to every single week picking my meals off the menu because they change so often. But then I also know like the OG ones that I love, I can recreate. But it is a fun process, Brandon.
Going into this season, the 2023 football season.
Coming quick.
Huh?
It's coming up quick.
Oh, I thought you'd heard something. Would you rather, as you're going into the football season, Alabama is going to have a new quarterback. Ohio State is going to have a new quarterback. Georgia is going to have a new quarterback. If you were a quarterback, would you rather walk into the 2023 season as Alabama's quarterback for this season, Ohio State's, or Georgia's? Which of the 3 situations would you like to walk into?
I would like to walk into Alabama's because... Oh, bless you. That
Sneeze.
was
I don't know if you heard it.
intense.
Okay.
That was
Alabama's.
intense. Well, obviously the answer would seem to be Georgia right away because Georgia is primed for a three-peat. However, if you are the quarterback that has a few fuck-ups along the way, even if it's just one, even if it's not completely your fault, you're going to always be compared to Stetson Bennett right away. And if you are the reason, or could be argued that you're the reason that you're not winning another national title, you don't want that pressure.
So you are walking into the most pressure-filled situation.
At Georgia.
Yes.
At Alabama right now, the whole narrative around the situation is, well, is Nick Saban done? Is the dynasty now officially Georgia's and Kirby Smart's? And if you can go into that situation, which full of 5-star and 4-star recruits, full of great situation, the best college football coach of all time, and you can win and you can save, quote, save Alabama's dynasty, that's what I would want to do.
What do you think?
I'd probably go with Ohio State. I was looking back at Ohio State for when was the last time they had a failed quarterback, and it was there was a year between I think Troy Smith and Terrell Pryor.
There was Todd Beckman. They played for a national title that year.
So even there,
yeah,
they played for a national title with Todd Beckman. And then if you go back to Troy Smith, you keep going back and on top of it, you're walking in with the best wide receiver in the country, one of the top NFL draft prospects in the country, and then on top of it, you also have a bunch of other great guys. It seems like Ryan Day has a great system. Not to say the guys he didn't bring in aren't talented before, obviously C.J. Stroud, all of those guys, but it seems like Ryan Day knows what he's doing. Brian Hartline knows what he's doing. And then on top of it, Ohio State it just seems they know what to do with quarterbacks. And if I'm there, I know I'm talented enough to be there.
Yeah.
And but Georgia's close. Alabama's difficult because taking over for a Heisman quarterback's really hard.
It is, but in the past, Alabama has proven to be one of those programs under Nick Saban that you don't have to be the most talented guy.
You're right. You're right.
Tua Tagovailoa was one of the most talented quarterbacks they'd had in forever, and he didn't he didn't have to be that talented, right? Like we still were comparing him to other
Jacob
guys.
Coker won a fucking Heisman or fucking national championship.
So I think it's number one. It's very close. You'd want to be the quarterback at any of the three.
Right.
I would go Ohio State 1 because you do have the best receiver room in the country. You have a great running back room behind you, a great offensive line. Like I feel like in the competition that they play, I think you'd want to be Ohio State. Not that they don't play in a good division; they play in a good division, but
you also have J.J. McCarthy, who I know you have
low expectations. You have the pressure of you have to beat Michigan or you're a failure.
And they have their quarterback who won last year, so there's a lot more pressure there as
well. Georgia
well.
also has remarkable talent around you. The best tight end in the country, Ladd McConkey's fantastic. They brought in good receivers, but there is the pressure that the last 2 years they've won the national title. So if you don't win it this year, what was different? The quarterback.
And you could be wildly more physically talented, athletically talented than Stetson Bennett ever was. But if you don't win, you're never going to be Stetson Bennett.
Luke Fickell is the new coach of Wisconsin.
Yes, he is.
Matt Rule is the new coach of Nebraska.
Great hire.
5 years from now, which program is better?
I think there'll be more improvements in Nebraska's program, but
sure.
Wisconsin.
No, I said sure.
And then Nebraska, but Wisconsin will still be better because I believe right now Wisconsin's program is
significantly ahead.
Significantly steps ahead of Nebraska. I'm not saying as an overall program history. I'm just saying in present day college football right now, Wisconsin is so far ahead of Nebraska.
I think I loved both hires, but I think that what Luke Fickell has proven to do for a longer period of time in college football, and I understand Matt Rule had a great career before Baylor, but I feel like Luke Fickell was more of a slam dunk hire, which would tell me that Wisconsin will be better off. But Matt Rule still, when we argued about Matt Rule getting the Nebraska job, it was is it a good job or great hire or not? And you were like, well, he hasn't really proven it completely yet. There still is that thought process out there. There's not with Luke Fickell. You know how good of a coach he is, right?
No, he took Cincinnati to the playoff.
Right. So it's there's less
They're
question marks.
They're both very good coaches.
There's less question marks, although Luke Fickell doing it in the Big Ten, I think there's a question marks for both of them. I think Luke Fickell is more established in college football than Matt Rule.
Notre Dame this season plays 3 what I would consider national title contending teams. They play USC. They play Ohio State at home. They play Clemson on the road. Does Notre Dame beat any of those teams? What is Notre Dame's record in those 3 games?
Probability speaking, 1 and 2. I would assume that they should be able to find a win in there.
I feel like them going 0-3 seems almost impossible.
I think that's probably the most possible. I believe they play USC at home. You'd have to check. I know they play Clemson on the road, and I know they play Ohio State at home.
I think that of the 3, Clemson is the game that I would say that they could win the most.
Yeah.
Which we saw happen last year.
You could say There's a chance that Ohio State's new quarterback has a difficulty with.
They're not beating USC.
That's relatively early.
The only thing is they
They play
could
Ohio
beat
State.
USC.
If USC hasn't fixed that defense.
Yeah, you
which-
never know. And let's say you put together a decent amount. And also Caleb, I mean, this is I wouldn't want it to happen, but you never know. Like there's always a chance a guy turns his ankle. Like that's but my ranking of order would probably be 1 and 2, 0 and 3, 2 and 1,
Too many numbers.
3 and 0.
What is the
0 and 3 and 3 and 0 both feel impossible to me.
Give me a percent chance that Georgia three-peats.
70%.
Holy fuck! No, that's insane.
That was just the first thing that came to mind.
It's
Oh.
high. It's high as fuck.
70% would be like that.
But here's
Now, hold on.
it's not crazy.
I think if you ask what's the percent chance they three-peat before they win the first one, and you say 70%, that's crazy. But you gotta understand what I'm really asking. What's the percent chance they win it this year? So 70's still high.
It's high, but
I would
it's
go
not
like
crazy.
40? Is that still too high, you think?
I was gonna go 30%.
70's way too high. However, you do have to look at the fact that we're still at a 14 playoff. They're favored to win the SEC.
Their schedule is
I believe they're going to win the SEC. Their schedule is
friendly.
And then you say, okay, so if I'm automatically saying they're going to be in the college football playoff, which I do believe, then you have just a 25% chance.
I'm going to say something right now.
Okay.
And Georgia fans are going to get mad, but I want them to understand that this happens to every team.
Okay.
There were some significant breaks in their favor over these past 2 years.
Well, you have to have breaks to win a national title.
I know, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
But, who knows if Jamison Williams doesn't tear his ACL in the first quarter, who knows if they win that game. I'm not saying they still could have. There was a lot of breaks that went their way against Ohio State as well. I know they beat TCU.
Marvin Harrison got hurt. Yep.
And then also, I mean,
But
that was
they
the
were-
worst field goal kick in the history of and then
and I don't blame the kicker. I blame Ryan Day for stopping and a 50-yard kick.
and then a corner fell down.
Yeah.
And that helped with a fact that they needed a quick score. Now, they did those things and they won those national championships. And you can't take that away from them. But sometimes
What if one of those breaks goes against them this time?
yes, and it's tough. It's a difficult.
It's very hard to win 2 in a row. It's remarkably hard to win 2 in a row. It's unheard of to win 3 in a row. It hasn't happened in years. Since way back in the 50s, 40s or something like.
And the level of talent in today's game and equity of talent in today's game versus 1950 is insane.
70% is very, very high. But it isn't crazy to think that Georgia could three-peat, and that's,
yeah. I mean, even 30% is high.
boy,
all right.
imagine three-peating.
If you look at all the Heisman hopefuls right now, the guys with the lowest odds are Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., guys like that. You don't get an SEC one until like the 6th or 7th guy. All right. So my question is, who will be the highest Heisman finisher from the Southeastern Conference?
Carson Beck.
You say Carson Beck, Georgia's quarterback.
Yeah.
What about Brock Bowers? Is it possible for him to finish top 5 in the Heisman? He's a tight end.
It's possible, but I think if Carson, it's hard. Being a tight end.
Jaden Daniels plays in the SEC.
I was about to have a crazy one.
KJ Jefferson plays in the SEC.
Spencer
Rattler plays in the SEC.
Good.
Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton, if he's good. Alabama quarterback. It's wide open. I don't know.
I think Spencer Rattler. I know I'm buying the South Carolina hype, and I'm buying the Spencer Rattler hype again. It's like the 3rd season I've done this, but
You know who would be just a decent throwaway if you were to somehow bet on this?
Yeah.
I think Leary could have a decent shot.
Yeah,
Let's say he just puts together a special season.
But the problem with that is
I don't know if he has the talent. or not.
SEC East player who will not beat Georgia.
I know. And then
And there's other guys like Quinshon Judkins plays for Ole Miss, and he might be the best running back in the country. But he ain't winning the Heisman because he plays running back, and he plays running back for a team that,
they're going to
if
go
they're
7-5.
good, will win 9 games.
Yeah, 7-5, 8-4, 9-3.
So for a running back to win, you better be on a 12-0 team, and Blake Corum's out there.
So why I am so high on Carson for Heisman is, first of all, a great question to add on. Like, what's the percent probability that Georgia goes 12-0 before SEC?
I think it's pretty strong.
I think the 70% is low key.
I think they got one game they can lose, and that's at Tennessee.
That schedule is so in their favor.
Now,
Like Florida's bad. Kentucky, they're just way better than. South Carolina, they're way better than.
and they're playing South Carolina at home.
Yeah, so I like they're West. You know, they play Ole Miss from the West. They play Auburn from the West. Auburn's not there. I don't think Ole Miss is winning in Athens, but
Now, my thing is there. You go 12-0. Who's the quarterback at 12-0? And also putting up big numbers. Georgia, the way people talk about him is like they're obsessed with him.
Well, and Stetson Bennett made it to New York because he played for Georgia. I understand he had great numbers, and we're going to get Georgia fans on our asses again, but he was the guy that did not fit in that room.
All right.
But it's because of who he played for.
next 5 years, you have to buy one of these stocks. You have to buy Oklahoma stock going in the SEC or Texas stock. Who do you buy?
Texas stock,
Next how many years?
5.
Texas.
I'm gonna. Fuck. This is really close.
I am buying it because of Arch Manning.
Arch, and yeah, I think Quinn Ewers is a great head start to Arch too.
Yes, but I mean, if we're looking at 5 years and I'm buying it because of the last name, I'm falling into the trap that I think everybody's falling into, but I'm also
You're like a fish that sees the shiniest thing come by and you just take a bite.
Yes, I mean, when they signed Arch Manning, I was like, listen, he could be the worst Manning of all time or he could be the best Manning of all time, but his last name is still Manning. So congratulations to Texas for landing that because it is super shiny. But there's something with Oklahoma, whether it's the way I feel about the fans, maybe it's just completely emotionally based. I'm just not sure of their future in the SEC. I feel like I'm buying an Arch Manning more so than just Texas. But I don't think either one of them are going to have immediate success.
What about
which
you?
is fine.
Okay, so like, my first thought was you have to say Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Because if Texas can't even succeed in the Big 12 right now, how are they going to go to the best conference in college football?
Yeah,
But that being said, Oklahoma really threw a wrench in this argument after last year.
being bad last year.
And I think these two prices are going to be much different than they were in the theoretical stock
This is
market
probably
right now.
the cheapest you could ever get Oklahoma.
Yes, and I think you could also get Texas pretty cheap too.
Because Oklahoma's a blue chip stock.
And it's been a blue chip stock for a while.
Yeah.
It doesn't get out of that blue chip market.
Yeah.
Who are you buying, Brandon?
It's Disney.
I mean, with your whole Texas is back thing, you have to.
Well,
I'm
I know, but the problem is
I'm going with Oklahoma, by the way. Pains me. To say.
what he says is right. Oklahoma had a down year last year. That's their first down year in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
in the Big 12, though.
You can bank on Oklahoma being 10-2, 11-1 almost every single season. And Texas has been a stock that's been up and down, up and down. You know, it came up 15, 20 years ago, and then every time it looks like, all right, we're going to buy it, and it comes right back down.
But they haven't had somebody like Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning. Arch Manning, again, we're going off of the hype in the last name.
You know,
and
you
his
say
recruiting,
that, and maybe at the quarterback position you're right, but it's not like they've been hurting for big-time recruiting classes.
No.
They've been getting them every single
Okay, here's
year.
a question. Do you trust Venables more than Sark?
I don't know if I trust either one of them
But
yet.
if you had to pick one.
I don't know. I really don't know because Sark hasn't shown it yet. I think he's going to show it this year.
I would pick Sark because he just has more experience.
But his
matters.
career record as a coach is not very good.
I know, but experience matters.
But it isn't really winning experience yet at the head coaching level.
Yeah, but he's been around the block and
Right, but he hasn't won at a high level yet.
And
neither has Brent Venables.
Correct, but if you say experience matters, okay. But you need to show me the experience of winning at a high level. And Sark has had 9 tries at it. Venables had 1. Neither one of them's done anything.
But Venables has shown that he can win.
As a coordinator.
No, he wasn't awful at USC.
You mean Sark?
Sark, what did I say?
Venables.
Oh yeah, Venables. Sorry, I meant Sark has, but his lows have been pretty low. But Venables went to became the CEO of a blue chip stock and put together the worst earnings report that the stock has
I love
seen.
how far we're going with this stock stuff.
My biggest thing is, and I see it all the time, in UFC, these guys come in and they have a 12-11 record in the UFC, and some hot shot prospect comes in and they're fighting them.
Yeah.
And then they just go in there, and this guy who's fought 20 times in the UFC just like smokes him. And it's because his level
He knows how to
of
fight. It's his level,
experience is like, you can't compare it there. But that being said, Venables is experienced now. He has gone through a little bit.
But, and when you look at Sark too, I know we can't take one game and say that's how they're going to compete in the conference year in and year out, but they did almost beat Alabama last year.
Yeah, and if their quarterback doesn't get hurt, they probably do beat them.
Exactly. So that's why I look and I say, I don't think either one are going to have immediate success, despite what the fan bases think. It's just tough to do that no matter who you are. But they showed that they could go toe-to-toe with Alabama. They now have Quinn Ewers and then Arch Manning, where Oklahoma, I mean, they looked like absolute dog shit last year.
More likely to revive their career this season after transferring, DJ Uiagalelei at Oregon State or Brennan Armstrong at North Carolina State University.
I'm going to add one more.
Good. I was looking for ones to add.
Graham Mertz.
Graham Mertz at Florida. Good.
I'm going to say DJ, even though I know when we talked about him the last time, like a month or so ago, I said it's going to be really tough to do that because no matter what he does at Oregon State, it's always going to be like, well, he couldn't get it done at Clemson. However, I think that he could change his narrative way more as a draft prospect because he can actually play like a really good, solid end to his collegiate career there and put up the numbers and the athletic ability that we know he has. Just didn't work out at Clemson.
Oregon State, by the way, is also really fucking good.
Yeah.
They're so sneaky. Nobody talks about them at all out there in the Pac-12.
Jonathan Martinez is their running back, who is just he was one of the best freshman running backs last year, and he runs in a way that you look at him and you're just
Is it
like,
Jonathan Martinez? I think it's Martinez. I don't know if it's Jonathan. Jonathan Smith is their coach.
Can you? My phone just died.
When all I hear is Adrian Martinez when you say Jonathan Martinez.
Well, he could be right. Oregon State running back.
Yes.
Just make sure we get it right. That's
Anyways, the running back Martinez.
He was a freshman All-American last year.
Yeah, I think he wears number 8 or 6.
Yeah.
He runs with his he's old school.
Yeah.
And on
Damien.
Thank you. So I apologize for the Oregon State
Can I
fans.
just stop you right there?
Yeah.
Damian Martinez is a phenomenal running back name.
Yeah.
Damian might be the best running back name.
Damian Harris.
Damian, anything after there. But Damian's a great running back name.
He had 982 yards last year.
Doesn't Damian sound like a fast name?
Yeah, no, and it's like, I don't want to get hit by Damian.
No.
He also, it sounds like a superstar name too. It has some power.
Damian
behind it.
Martinez is one hell of a name.
Yeah, it is.
Like
So-
if your baseball team signed Damian Martinez and he was a prospect coming up, you'd think he was going to the Hall of Fame.
He does sound like a prospect that like the Royals have coming up, and it's like they're having an awful season, but at least Damian's coming.
Damian's coming and he'll get traded to the Yankees in 3 years.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going with DJ.
All right. I think I go with Brendan Armstrong. Nobody talks about how weird it was, how good he was 2 years ago, and then how bad he was last year. He was the worst quarterback in the country at times last year.
You know who we don't talk? I mean, it shows the value of an offensive coordinator. That's what who's reuniting with.
Yeah, and you threw my brain in a wrench. If Graham Mertz is good at Florida, it changes everything. Graham Mertz being good. I can't even wrap my head around Graham Mertz being good at Florida.
It's also Graham Mertz for the 2 weeks, and I know it was much bigger here because of Dan, but like the Mertz for Heisman at Wisconsin, if you're winning at Florida, way more people are paying attention to that than, I mean, yes, if you cover college football, you're paying attention to Oregon State and NC State, but if you're winning at Florida after you had a failed Power 5, quote, failed Power 5 job somewhere else as starting quarterback, everyone's paying attention to that.
Does Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, make a bowl in year one?
No, I don't think he gets close.
I think yes, just because I don't want to convince myself otherwise.
But
his schedule is hard.
Well, he opens with TCU, and then he has a Pac-12 schedule, and
Now,
Pac-12 is really good.
5-win teams do make bowl games. Now, I'd like to put that on record sometimes.
That is true.
There are 5 and 7 teams that do make bowl games, and I could see it being a situation where if he wins 5 games, whoever the bowl committee looks at it and says,
well,
we want Colorado.
One of the caveats for making a bowl game if you're 5 and 7 is you have to be very high in the academic rankings.
APR score.
And if he is able to take a team of nothing but transfers and have a high APR score, he should be the president of the university.
But isn't the APR scores based on last year's results?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's too many numbers.
I
for
like
me.
football, not chemistry.
Well, UConn
what's
got
their-
banned from the
what's-
NCAA tournament one year because of those stupid fucking scores. NCAA destroyed UConn for 1 year because they hate UConn.
Welcome back, Katie.
And Jim Calhoun. And then North Carolina didn't have their kids didn't go to class, and they didn't get anything as bad.
Because
Like
everyone,
you guys
not
can fuck
just
off.
athletes. We treat everyone equally.
In the Heisman, if I gave you $50 and said you have to bet it, are you going to bet on Caleb Williams or the field?
Field.
Field.
Caleb Williams.
You think he could repeat?
Easily.
Field. The only thing is, if you look at the guys who have returned out
You
there,
have to go far and away better than your previous
Johnny's
season.
second year was better.
And
Lamar's second year was better.
I thought Bryce Young's was just as
Bryce's
good.
second year.
He
Bryce-
didn't get close.
And it
But I think that the reason that Bryce Young
He also lost 2 games.
because they lost. Like
Yeah.
had they won, even if I think they won one of those games, there could have. I just think maybe I'm just a dumb person, but I can't imagine USC's defense being worse than it was last year. I feel like it has to improve, and I feel like they are the favorite in my mind to win the Pac-12, and he's going to continue to put up those crazy numbers.
No, but those numbers won't be as good if that defense is as good because he won't have the ball as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of a catch-22.
It's true. It is true. Brandon?
I want to talk to you about, is it okay to not be okay?
Of course it's okay to not be okay.
Well,
You
this
were
show,
not okay today because we couldn't do Hate Week.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself is a lifelong process. This is because we're always changing, always growing. Therapy is about deepening your self-awareness and self-understanding to help you discover your best self. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on a journey of self-discovery and meet you where you are. Sometimes we become so busy that self-care can be brushed to the side, but BetterHelp is going to help you get through that. Therapy can be an effective way to give yourself time you deserve to focus on you. It's time to put yourself first. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched up with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. What you want to do is go to betterhelp.com/Smith to get 10% off your first month. Find more balance with BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Smith.
It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
All right.
You have a 2-minute drill?
I have a 2-minute drill.
All right, let's do it in 2 minutes.
Okay. It's the summertime, right?
Agreed.
People are on boats, right?
Yep.
Having lake days. What?
Ever seen my house?
I have seen your
I
house.
bought a lake house.
I loved your tweet that was like, I'm not even living in the suburbs. I'm living in the country.
I'm past the suburbs.
Okay.
There was I was driving the interstate. There's about a 10-minute drive where I get off the interstate and ride a 2-lane road without any lights.
I
And
love
it's
that people
wonderful.
were trying to like dunk on you for that. You're like, you don't understand. This is.
Yeah, they're saying, yeah, you're not going to like this one when you're driving an hour each way to work. Buddy, that's what I want to do.
I also loved like the dads, and they're like, do you realize an hour plus commute with no children is like the best thing in the
Wonderful,
world?
yes.
Okay. So then I will change this for you specifically.
All right?
If you were going to go out on a boat, gorgeous Saturday afternoon,
Sure.
some cold drinks at Casa de Walker,
Uh-huh.
who are the 3 college football coaches you would want to join you? Current college football coaches.
Most college football coaches are full of shit.
It's you and just 3 dudes, guys being dudes, out on the boat
All right.
with some cold drinks, some snacks, some meats.
All right. I don't want to go with Lane because he's going to be thinking of clever tweets that he would never actually send in real life. I don't want to go.
Do you see him posting about Jahmyr Gibbs? I know you say like he wants to coach Alabama, but
Yeah.
if you just pay attention to how many times he talks about Alabama on Twitter.
Don't want to go with Sam Pittman because I need the boat to stay on the water. I don't want to go. Kirby Smart just seems like a douchebag. Nick Saban's old, could die.
On the boat? He'd just die on the boat.
Lincoln Riley? Well, Bielema's a number one. I think Bielema's going to drive the boat. Bielema looks like a guy who's going to pop his top off, sit in the shade of the boat, and just sit back like this and just chill the whole time. Bielema's one. I definitely got him out there. Are there any female college football coaches?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
UConn
Michigan has a GA.
I was
UConn has
assuming
a real one.
yeah,
I was
head
just kidding.
I know. You,
Yeah,
you
I was-
want to
UConn has one,
see
yeah.
like a bikini.
I
Unfortunately, when I was thinking about
mean, I
this,
could take Hugh Freeze. I'd have some whores.
no, it's just you and the 3.
Oh, just me and the coaches. Okay.
A lot of the coaches
Boats
that
and hose.
Boats and hose.
boats and hose.
All right.
That's such a funny movie. A lot
Brian
of
Kelly's probably going to steer somebody into and kill him.
a lot of the really good options are not coaching right now. Like Dan Mullen would be a great.
You don't want Brian Kelly on a windy day. In your
No, you
man.
don't.
No,
You
you
don't. All right, so
It's kind of
Oh,
funny.
congrats on Michigan.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah,
you.
Katie missed it.
Sorry.
Oh no, you
mean,
have to
you
say
do.
sorry.
Say it.
Bielema,
It's tough. It's a lot tougher.
Whittingham seems kind of cool.
Yep, he's cool.
Just like an old school guy.
Yeah, and then Herm Edwards got fired. I liked him.
Couldn't do Sark. Couldn't drink.
Damn, you gotta have
That's
it.
true.
What about Dabo?
Oh shit.
He'd be last on your list.
Oh,
You know, in Ozark when they have like church on the boats,
Yeah.
he'd take you to that. Like there's preachers on the boat.
man, I don't even. I just Bielema, Whittingham, and give me my guy Zach Arnett just because he's my guy. But otherwise, I don't
It's
know.
a lot harder. Like
It's harder than you think.
It shouldn't be.
Shiano probably won't be bad.
Yeah, Shiano works.
Franklin would be too fired up. Harbaugh wouldn't be that. Ryan Day.
Ryan Day kind of seems like he'd have a good time.
Ryan
No.
Day, I think, would be fine.
I don't think Ryan Day's ever had a good time.
No,
you think
he
he-
has. I think Ryan Day's a fine individual.
It depends. It depends on if you're picking like recent Mike Gundy or like 40-year-old Mike Gundy. 40-year-old Mike Gundy.
I
Was
mean,
probably a good
What about
time.
Chip Kelly?
Maybe. Can we just do all time guys so I can get Spurrier out there on the
So
boat?
I mean Spurrier for sure.
Yeah, you want Spurrier on the boat. You want Bielema on the boat.
I think Dan Mullen, like I said, I think he'd be very fun on the boat.
Yeah,
Coach O.
Coach O on the boat.
Bergeron. See, all the good options aren't in college football anymore.
Yeah, if you're fun to be on a boat with, you're probably fired.
Or retired because
Yeah.
you wanted to play golf every day.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna do a marry, fuck, kill of college football jobs.
Go.
USC current, Texas current, Michigan current. Not of all time, just right now. You could take these
God,
jobs.
I would marry them all. They're
Right, but you have to.
They're all top 10 jobs.
MFK.
I'm going to kill the USC job because while the weather's great and it is a historically good job, I don't think their fans care as much as fans at the other two schools.
Which means there's less pressure.
I'm going to marry Michigan because they had the patience with Harbaugh. They stuck with him. They showed the ability to let that unfold, and they showed maturity. Whereas Texas will fire you in a heartbeat. So I'm going to fuck Texas because it's a great job if you're the right guy, but they could fuck you back. So marry Michigan, mature people. Texas, fuckable. And USC, they don't care, so I'm killing them.
Jack, do you agree?
I'm marrying Texas, fucking USC, killing Michigan.
Katie?
I think I would swap. Fuck USC, kill Texas, marry Michigan.
It's all great options.
Yeah, they're all great jobs.
It's a great dating pool.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could pick any stadium in the country to switch for your team, and I'm not talking about just stadium, I'm talking about weather, atmosphere,
Right.
tailgating, and your stadium is out the window. So I cannot pick Kyle Field.
Sure.
Who would you trade with?
I love the Swamp. And I know it's not the nicest, newest stadium, but I like the acoustics of it. I like the aesthetics with the like if it were not orange, if it were maroon and there was a bulldog instead of a gator head, like I love the way it looks. I love the way it looks at night. I love the Swamp. I would take the Swamp.
I think your fan base would do well in the Swamp too.
Yeah, I think we would.
I'm going.
Jack?
I'd probably take Athens.
Stanford, huh?
But
Stanford, yeah.
That's not a great stadium.
He likes the bushes.
You know what hasn't happened? A modern college football team hasn't built like a palace. Like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio
You know
State,
why?
all these teams that can afford to do it. Nobody's built like
You know why?
Nobody's built like 100,000 seat state of the art stadium because
You know
they cost
why?
billions of dollars.
No, they put it all into the facilities.
Yeah.
NFL facilities, or maybe NFL facilities are nice, but
Why would you take Samford though? Like really? Like what about it? Just because it's
you
Athens?
said a whole
Yeah, everything around it.
well, I mean, also you guys.
So he
have
gets the
been
town too. I didn't know we got the town.
That's what I
too.
said. Everything around it.
I don't want the town.
All right,
I got a
then
town.
can I take Neyland? Is that happy for you? Enough for you guys?
Well, nobody cares what you take, Jack.
Samford is fine.
It's so hot. Come on, hurry up.
Okay.
It's so,
it's so
like
hot.
That was
you,
the first
y'all
thing I-
gonna see my
It's
back
so hot.
after I
Okay,
walk.
so I would take Beaver Stadium.
Okay.
Of course
because-
you would.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the weather. I want Big Ten weather. I can't play in the SEC any longer. It's too fucking hot.
All right.
Between LSU and Tennessee.
That's good.
LSU's the easy answer, but it's too hot there too.
I'm only doing schools I've been to.
Well, I thought you were putting it where you wanted to put it.
Huh? No, I'm saying everything included.
Okay.
That's why LSU would be the right.
Question
Okay,
number
all
4.
right. If you were signing an NIL deal, any product, what would you want to be your NIL deal? So you can't do alcohol because obviously mine would be wine.
I want the college football video game.
Yeah.
I want to be the face of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy one. I'm talking about like a Bijan Robinson had the mustard.
I'd like to get a free Jeep Wrangler. I'd like my face to be
You
on
want to be
it.
the face of a Jeep.
Yeah. If you want to run over your competition, come on down to Brandon Walker Jeep Wrangler and watch me win a Heisman this year.
Boy, I would want my own hot sauce.
Yeah, you would.
I would want like the best.
I feel like
tasting.
you could get your own hot sauce.
I would like jelly.
Huh?
Why?
What?
Like I'm.
Like peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah, just put like jelly. Yeah, and then you could put jelly, and I could make jelly a bigger deal again.
Okay.
You're trying to make jelly great again?
Yeah.
Jelly is great.
I'm gonna take jelly, and I'm
Okay.
gonna remind.
You think jelly is falling by the wayside in this country?
Yes.
Uncrustables are the unsung heroes of snacks.
You think
And-
jelly it doesn't have the lofty place it used to have?
It doesn't at all. I went to. Have you ever had a bagel with cream cheese and jelly?
It's
Well, no,
so good.
bagels are bullshit.
Okay.
Bagels are
I
bullshit.
mean, is this
You're
my moment where I
bullshit.
throw my notepad?
Bagels are bullshit.
Like, you throw your
we
notepad
live
when I
in
tell
we
you-
live in New York
What the
City, so
fuck were you
everything's about a
talking
bagel. Bagels suck.
You are
if you're
an
gonna
idiot.
get a breakfast bread or
Brandon?
something, get a biscuit, get something like that, or get a donut.
Brandon?
Bagels are bullshit.
Don't be a moron for Mississippi.
Bagels are bullshit.
What is
And
wrong
I'm
with
tired
you?
of pretending like bagels are good.
You
I'm
are-
tired
you
of
know
fucking
what?
pretending like bagels are good.
Have you
Just
had
because
it?
we're in New York City. Oh, bagel. No, bagels fucking suck.
Have you
No,
had a bagel
this
in
is
New York
you
City?
grew up in bad bagel territory.
No, I grew up in biscuit territory. That's where I grew
No,
up.
I'll tell
listen.
you what. It's like somebody from the north saying college football sucks. It's so boring.
Biscuits are better than bagels.
I think a
depends
good
on the
Biscuits
kind of
are really
biscuit.
good. Biscuits
The
are
flaky
amazing.
biscuits,
I like both
the
of them.
flaky golden biscuits.
the bagel has a higher ceiling, but
No, it
bagels
doesn't.
have a
Bagels
lower-
suck.
Sorry, biscuits.
You haven't had a bagel in
biscuits
New
have
York,
a higher
have you?
ceiling, but bagels pound for pound.
Have you had
are
a
often
bagel in
better.
New York
I've
City?
had bagels in New York
You
City.
I
can
don't
fuck
believe
up
you.
a biscuit so easily.
I love biscuits.
I love
Yeah.
biscuits too.
I'm not gonna say biscuits are bullshit. I only like bagels.
Bagels are bullshit.
Are you having New Jersey bagels, New York bagels?
Bagels suck.
You are.
Bagels.
Donuts.
I'm done.
Donuts.
Donuts
Biscuits.
and bagels are not in the same thing.
Yes, they are.
You're not putting-
They're morning breakfast.
They're more. Donuts are like dessert.
Yeah,
breakfast.
they have
Donuts
like a
are
lot of
glazed.
sugar and like chocolate on them. And
You're not
Go on,
putting
continue.
eggs, bacon.
Bagels suck.
You're not
you know
putting
what?
eggs
I'm
and
gonna
bacon
put.
on a
I'm gonna
donut.
start putting
Well, I
grape
threw
on my Jack Mac jelly.
the accent that he just came out.
JMJ.
I threw my piece of paper at you. It has the questions on it. I think I have one more question,
Mine would be milkshakes.
but it's all shorthand. Milkshakes.
Milkshake or a burger.
Oh,
Give me some
milkshake
hot
is-
sauce.
You could hire any musician to play your school's run out. Who are you hiring?
Live every week. Live every week.
Jimi Hendrix. Can they be alive or dead?
They can be whoever you want.
Just Jimi Hendrix on a guitar playing Hail State as we come out. That'd be awesome. Smoke shit.
This is.
I'm
you know,
going with Oasis, and then it just yeah.
Do you think Oasis is gonna get the crowd going?
Oh yeah. Have you seen crowds that went and saw
Yeah, in
Oasis?
England.
Guess what? They're coming to America now. We are the international college football team. University of Connecticut.
All right, y'all answer it so we can get the fuck out of this hot room.
I would say the Beatles.
I'm not sure. I need more research.
All right.
You know who doesn't go crazy for the Beatles? I was gonna say Michael Jackson, but that's
The
problematic.
Beatles are the bagels
You know
of the
what? I bet
music
there's
world.
people who
Oh,
are born now
fuck.
just don't know what the Beatles are. Everyone
Oh,
knows the
100%.
8,000 Babies.
All right.
Like our interns. We should ask our interns.
Lil
Yes.
Wayne.
Can
Lil
you
Wayne.
name all the Beatles?
I
Yeah,
can't
John
name
Paul,
all the
George, and
Beatles.
Ringo.
I can't name them.
I'm saying the interns who were born in
Okay.
2000.
Lil Wayne.
They probably can't. The
All right.
Beatles.
2003.
Goodbye.